Welcome back to the Vocalyst. Today we are listening to the band Rush. This is their song Closer to the Heart. I have not heard them before, but one of our patrons recommended this video, so here we go.
To start to mold a new reality, closer to the heart, closer to the heart. The blacksmith and the artist reflected in their art. They forged their creativity closer to the heart. Yes, closer to the heart.
I wasn't expecting that range. I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, and I don't know what I was expecting vocally, but wow. Let me just go back to the beginning.
And the men who hold.
It's like, let me listen again, sorry.
And the men who hold high places.
I can't even describe it. It's obviously it's higher than I anticipated. It's got this gorgeous like clarity.
And the men who hold high places must be the ones who start.
I think the other thing that's I feel like he doesn't have that big open pharyngeal space that I hear a lot in singers of, you know, this style. And so I think that's what's surprising to me is that it's got all that beautiful ping. It's still a full sound. It just doesn't have that sort of like, maybe it's the chest resonance that I'm not hearing as much. Oh man, one more time.
Must be the ones who start to mold a new reality.
Like when he says mold, like that has a little bit more of that breadth and like that richness of sound. That sort of, it's all like up here instead. I don't even know how to describe it. Oh my goodness.
And the men who hold high places must be the ones who start to mold a new reality, closer to the heart, closer to the heart. The blacksmith and the artist reflected in their art. They forged their creativity closer to the heart. Yes, closer to the heart. Philosophers and plowmen, each must know his part to sow a new mentality closer to the heart. Yes, closer to the heart. Yeah. Oh.
I think part of this is the editing, or like, I don't know anything about I know very little about music production, let's put it that way. But in terms of mixing and, you know, equalizing and which frequencies kind of get brought up, I'm wondering if that's also attributing to what I'm hearing in his voice, because this whole track, it does seem a little bit brighter. It doesn't have as much of the bass or like that warmth that you get in a lot of like rock recordings. I don't know if metal, rock, I'll have to do some digging just because I haven't heard them before. But yeah, I'm wondering if it might be in the mixing that I'm losing some of the richness of his voice. Either way, like I said, it's very cool. It's very unique. I love how clear his tone is. I love that he was kind of dove into a little bit more of like a growl and like scream, and he wasn't afraid to just go for it with his voice. And it's still maintaining that clarity. Like, I think that's just what's like speaking to me right now. I'm gonna back it up just a little bit. It's a short one. I want to hear him sing again. I'm just gonna go back to the beginning. I won't go through the whole thing, but I want to hear that opening line again. I don't know what it is today. It's just like I'm stuck on it.
And the men who hold high places must be the ones who start to mold a new reality closer to the heart.
This is gonna sound so weird, but all I'm visualizing is like this little gold thread just like coming out of him. There's almost like a narrowness to his sound. And I mean that in a good way. Like, I talk about formant and having ping. I've mentioned chiaroscuro, which is like the balance of like light and dark. And I feel like, I don't know if it's just like a smaller sound, or if it's not muted or muffled, but like reduced. Like, I feel like I'm not getting the whole breadth of his voice right now because of the mixing. That's my only theory, because I'm so captivated, because it does have like this richness and this like power to it, but it's also just, like I said, that little gold thread that I feel like that's what I'm seeing as he sings. I don't know what it is. One more time, I'm so sorry.
And the men who hold high places must be the ones who start to mold a new reality closer to the heart, closer to the heart. Blacksmith and the artist reflected in their art.
Okay. The other thing I'm sorry, I was just so like stuck on that. I couldn't get past it to the rest of the music. What I love about the way he's singing, first off, his diction, I understand every word that he's saying, and I really appreciate that, especially those ending consonants. If you are a singer, that's my note, and you're worried about diction or anything like that, I always tell singers, like, focus on ending consonants first, because it's a lot easier for people to sort of figure out what came before it if they understand how it ends. And then, of course, beginning consonants would come second in that. So I love that I understand what he's saying. I also love, like, I feel vocally this has a lot of intensity, especially not only where it is in his range, but also, let me just back it up and you can hear it.
Closer to the heart.
This feels kind of chill.
Blacksmith and the artist.
Like, just the way he's saying these words, it's so powerful. And I love how he's taking his time with it. He's allowing like pausing in between the text. And it just makes it so much easier for us to absorb and to hear. But also it just has this like very calm, collected sort of presentation about it that's I really like.
Closer to the heart, closer to the heart. The blacksmith and the artist reflected in their art. They forge their creativity closer to the heart. Yes, closer to the heart.
I love the chimes.
Philosophers and plowmen each must know his part to sow a new mentality closer to the heart.
Like just the way
Yes,
it's
closer
almost like
to
he's
the-
leaning back. He just seems so chill while he's singing this. And again, I think it's all of like my senses are just conflicting because I'm like seeing one thing, I'm hearing one thing, and I'm having a hard time getting them to match.
his part to sow a new mentality closer to the heart. Yes, closer to the heart. Yeah. Oh.
Of course, I watched the whole thing after I said I wouldn't. But you guys probably knew that was going to happen, so it's fine. If you made it this far, thanks for sticking it out with me. I don't know what came over me. I just got so fixated on his voice and I couldn't let go. I will definitely be listening to more of this group just because I'm so curious to hear what, like the entirety of his range. It seems like he has a lot of unique colors, obviously a very unique tone, at least to my ears. I don't know what it was. It just, it's one of those days, I guess. Anywho, that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching with me, and hopefully I will see you next time.